Hey, good morning. I'm Patricia Murphy. It's Thursday. This is Seattle Now. The Seattle Symphony has a new music director, and she's breaking new ground. Xian Zhang is the first woman and first person of color to direct the symphony in its more than 120-year history. Xian's been around the world conducting. We'll talk to her about why she settled here in Seattle. But first, let's get you caught up. Your favorite restaurant could be getting more health inspections soon. The King County Board of Health is considering a new rule today that would increase inspections for restaurants, specifically ones that are found to be non-compliant with paying workers what they're owed. Restaurants would also have to display a new placard noting their unpaid financial obligations. Today's Board of Health meeting begins at 1 o'clock. It's streaming live and also airing on King County TV. The Seattle Storm have forced a deciding Game 3 in their first-round playoff series. They take on the Aces tonight in Las Vegas. If the Storm win, they'll advance to the second round of the WNBA playoffs. They take on the winner of the Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream series. And advocates for more rail service are rallying on Saturday at Seattle's King Street Station. Union members and public transit supporters are calling on the federal government to fully fund and expand Amtrak service. It's part of a national day of action to support passenger rail in the U.S. The message? More trains, less lanes. The rally gets going at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Check back for more headlines on tonight's episode of Seattle Now. That's just a taste of the Seattle Symphony from their performance on Saturday, Xian Zhang's first as the symphony's new music director. She comes to Seattle by way of the New Jersey Symphony, but you may have seen her here before. She's guest conducted multiple times, like in 2021 for the symphony's first show back from its pandemic break, where a Seattle Times reviewer called her performance incredibly dynamic. Xian is here now to talk about her new job and the classical music she hopes to bring to the city. Xian, thanks for being here.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Now, you have been with the Seattle Symphony as a guest conductor a few times. Let's talk a little bit about what's drawn you to performing with this orchestra.
My first time to conduct the Seattle Symphony as a guest, it was in 2008. But with my visit, each time I felt the connection with the musicians deepened. And we seem to know each other really well and better by time, which is really quite special to have that experience. Sometimes it goes really well in the beginning, then it turns at some point. But with these musicians, not really. It got built up towards something really wonderful. Like last Saturday on the opening gala, the musicians really played their hearts out. They played so wonderfully and with such conviction and warmth, and it was really fantastic.
And I would imagine that creating that music is an intimate experience with those musicians, like a relationship in a way.
There's such a thing we call chemistry. The conductors talk about it. I experience that a lot. Sometimes if I do the same pieces with this orchestra this week and immediately with the same piece next week, same piece, same conductor, it would sound completely different with a different orchestra. What's different? Who knows? It's different. That's what we call chemistry. Sometimes it works so well with this particular group of musicians and it may be different elsewhere. You never know.
Let's talk about the job. What does a music director do?
We do a lot. A lot of it actually are behind the scene that people don't know. When people come to a concert, you see we perform, you see me on the podium and waving my arms. That's already the end result. And before that point, there's so much to do. The most immediate is to get the musicians ready through rehearsals. Usually we get 2.5 days of rehearsals. But before that, about roughly, I would say 1.5 years before that concert took place, we would have to plan the program, select the pieces, invite the perfect soloist for that program, depending on whatever repertoire that is. Some people are really good at Mozart. Some people are really good at Tchaikovsky. That's kind of inside knowledge that I must have as a music director. And on top of that, there's a lot of admin work to do, like auditions, selecting musicians, who's going to win the job. Each audition, we take it so seriously. It's a really strict set of 3 rounds to get into the final position. I work on marketing. I work on media, like now this interview part of. I think it's important for me to talk about our symphony and to push the word and to let the public to know about us. So it's a lot. It's a lot to do.
Yeah, and I guess in a way you are an ambassador for the symphony for the city.
In many ways.
So you have worked around the world. It makes me curious what stands out to you about Seattle and the people who come to see the symphony here.
I find the audience here, they're extremely warm. I have to say it's really enjoyable as a performer to be performing for this wonderful group. Ever since my announcement, at least, even before, I remember coming on stage during Carmina Burana 2 years ago. I came here to conduct that, and I just felt this warmth from the audience. I couldn't believe it. It was almost sold out. It was fantastic. And the planets also sold really, really well this time. I think back in March when I was here, I really find this unusual warmth coming from the audience, which is so rare. I guess that's a part of the reason I love Seattle is that you don't get to experience that all the time. It happens sometimes, but not always. So for that, I'm so thankful.
You mentioned the chemistry you have with performers. Do our musicians stand out in any way?
This is a wonderful group of human beings that made up this orchestra. Each orchestra has a unique character in terms of attitude, in a way, if there's such a thing. I think these musicians are very pleasant. They're happy to be doing their job, and they come to rehearsal every day with a smile on their faces. And that you don't get that everywhere. Sometimes it can be quite grumpy, but these musicians are really a happy bunch, and I enjoy that very much.
They have a good vibe.
They do. They're positive. In a way, they are pleasant, and at the same time, if there's anything they want to work on, and they're really professionals. We work on things, and that's how it should be. So I think the environment feels, overwhelmingly very positive compared to other scenarios.
I won't make you name names.
No, and where, we won't say, but it can be quite different.
Yeah, sure. I'm curious because you're a conductor, but you're also an instrumentalist. Do you have a favorite instrument to play?
I started learning the piano when I was 3 with my parents. But when I look at scores right now, full scores, that's how my mental process works. It's as if it's a condensation into a piano score. So I would have to say it's a piano, of course. And I'm, since I'm a pianist, my favorite music would be Bach. I know it sounds so old and antique, but it comes to the very core of being a true musician in many ways, because it's such honest music. There is nowhere to hide in Bach.
That's so interesting. Say more about that. What do you mean there's nowhere to hide?
In Bach, the music, it's so pure that if you add anything extra or if you fake anything on top of it, you just wouldn't have the space to do it. Have you ever heard that question? They say, if you're left alone on an island without anything else, whose music would you bring? Bach. Brahms as well, but I would prefer Bach. As a pianist, that's a pianist answer.
Sure. Now, your appointment in this role is clearly groundbreaking. The first woman, the first person of color to lead our symphony. Do you feel important right now, or are you just a woman out there trying to do your darn job and appreciate your music?
I'm the opposite. I actually always try to put the music itself first. That's my top priority. I try to ignore everything else. Because whenever you think about it, you add something else to it that is not the work itself. I do believe when I work with musicians on the podium, when I conduct or rehearsal or whatever, if I go for the ultimate goal, which is music, if it's purely about music and musical, the musicians get it and they get it without a problem. All the other things are other people defining us, me. I'm happy people are doing that, and I'm honored to be where I am. But for me to do a good job at what I do, it's actually not to let those things to distract me. I just go for the goal, which is making great art.
Yeah. You had your first show as music director this past Saturday. How did it go? Did you celebrate afterwards? What was the mood like?
We did. Saturday was really phenomenal. The musicians played such an amazing concert. And the audience also. They really made me feel super welcomed. It was really, really special. And we had a huge party. We had the opening gala afterwards with our patrons. It was really great fun. It was a lot to prepare for development, for marketing, for special event, but everything went so well. It was a great opening.
Oh, fantastic. Well, before I let you go, if there are curious listeners who don't have a ton of classical music knowledge, what should they come to see at the Symphony this season? What is a good intro?
They should come this Thursday. Because you know why? I find this program this week, so we're playing KUOW, Dances of Galanta, which is a very folkish piece. And second piece is Michael Abels. Michael Abels recently just won the Pulitzer Prize. And his music, he wrote a lot of film music. And this piece has a lot of dance rhythm, a very jazzy, there's bluegrass. We're featuring a quartet from Sphinx organization. These are winners. Especially they want to foster young talents coming from underprivileged backgrounds. And pictures at an exhibition, of course, that's like the ultimate challenge to a symphony orchestra, you would say. So I find this program to be very accessible, very easy to listen and to just enjoy, have fun. It will be actually this program will be hard. If you do come, it will be hard not to dance with it.
All right. Well, that sounds like a great endorsement. And since we're taping this on Wednesday, this will air
Perfect.
On Thursday. You should come to the Symphony
Come tonight. Yes.
Fantastic. Xian Zhang is the new music director for the Seattle Symphony. Thank you so much for chatting. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the city. Glad you're here.
Great to talk to you.
Thanks for listening to Seattle Now, and thanks so much for supporting us financially. You can give at KUOW.org. Today's episode was produced by Vaughn Jones. It was edited by Caroline Chamberlain Gomez. Our production team also includes Andy Hurst, Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and Paige Browning. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you soon.